Hello and welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events. Recording this Monday, March 6th at 9:50 in the morning. And we've got yet another round of severe weather. We're still technically in winter, but meteorological spring began March 1st. And boy, I tell you what, winter. What a disappointment. I need to make a correction on the number of tornadoes we have had statewide in 2017. I have been putting out on social media that number is 10, when in actuality it's 11 tornadoes so far this year in Arkansas. The yearly average, by the way, is 33, and I want to show you where we're at right now for 2017, and just kind of give you a guidance as to what has happened here. You can see some of these years that really stick out, like 2008. Obviously 2003, 5, 8, 2011, that was a horrible year. And then so far this year, we're already at 11, and it's only March the 6th. So where are those 11? Well, the one that I missed was it was a January tornado in Ashley County. It was an EF0 near Hamburg, and that was done by the Jackson, Mississippi office that did that survey. So that's why I missed that. I didn't check the Jackson office. There were two near El Dorado in January, and then 8 with that last day of February outbreak that we had. So now we're up to 11, and let's not add to that, but I do have some concerns. So I want to show you, we will be in storm mode. This situation is very similar to the one we had a week ago. However, the severe weather parameters are not quite as robust as they were. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't let down your guard. I do think that we're going to have some severe weather, and I do think that there's at least a good chance that portions of Arkansas will be put under a tornado watch later today, and that'll be mainly for northwestern, maybe even portions of central Arkansas. This is our simulated radar, by the way, that I want to show you, HRRR, for later this afternoon. At 3 o'clock, you see the timestamp. We'll be in storm mode. You see some isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but things really don't get going until later tonight. Now, this is at 6:30, and you see some thunderstorm activity here in south central Arkansas. Remember, when I show you the simulated radar, you cannot take this literally. But I would look in this area of the state for a few thunderstorms. I don't think the severe threat is all that great with those. I'll show you exactly what I'm watching here. Again, that's at 6:30, and then watch what happens by about 10:30 to 11 o'clock tonight. This is the area that I would watch. And you see these individual storms developing right in here across the Ouachitas, right there. Those are the ones that I would watch for at least a little better chance for tornadoes, because they're out on their own ahead of the main line. Now, obviously, what sticks out like a sore thumb, if I can draw here, what sticks out like a sore thumb is this line of thunderstorms right here. That's with the cold front, and that line, the main threat will be very gusty winds. I expect severe thunderstorm warnings, especially with that. Could there be a tornado in that line? It's a very low tornado threat, but it exists. I think the threat for tornadoes will be with anything that develops out ahead of it. So again, 11 o'clock, let's watch this area right in there for the threat for some supercell thunderstorms. Those are the ones with a little bit higher chance to spin, for them to become severe and spin. So the severe weather risk for today, the northwestern half of the state. When we say northwestern half, we're talking about from Texarkana up to the northeastern half, far northeast corner of the state. That northwestern half is that right in there. Here, I'll draw it. So some people get confused with that. This is what I consider the northwest half of the state. This is the southeast half. So it's that northwest half that has the slight to enhanced risk, that enhanced risk right in here across the Ozarks, and then a slight risk into central Arkansas. That slight risk includes Arkadelphia, it includes Hot Springs, Benton Bryant, even I'd just go ahead and say Pine Bluff, Conway, Searcy, and all those locations you see there in yellow. So what are the exact threats? The tornado threat is low, and remember, it might be a little bit greater in that enhanced risk area right in there. And then any thunderstorms that develop, like I was showing you with the simulated radar, out ahead of that line. Then with the actual line, there is that low risk for a tornado. It's not a great risk, but it definitely is there. And because it's there, I think a tornado watch will be issued. It's something that we have to take very seriously. Severe winds, 58 miles per hour or greater. You can see that there's a high chance for that. Again, what I have to explain is if you have a thunderstorm, there's a high threat. If you have a thunderstorm, there's a high threat for severe winds, a medium threat further south, and then a lower threat further towards the southeastern portions of the state, and then severe hail. We're talking about hail. Severe, that's the definition of that, is 1 inch in diameter or greater, medium to high across that northwestern half of the state. So let's kind of put this all together and package it with that impact forecast. Hail I would put as at a medium threat, wind a high threat, so you can see where we're focusing our attention on that wind threat, especially with that line. But again, any thunderstorms ahead of that line after sunset tonight, it's going to be dark. That's the other problem here. There is that, while low, there is that tornado threat that we have to take very seriously. And of course, that's what we do here at Channel 7. We take any severe weather threat seriously, and especially if there's a tornado threat. So what can you do? Sign up for Weather Call 7. It's that simple. It's specific to your zip code, to your street address, and you can do it from the comfort of your own home on your computer or your laptop or your tablet. You just go to ktv.com and go to the weather section, and on the menu you'll see Weather Call 7. There are other ways to get warnings. You can get a NOAA weather radio. I'm for all the above approach, except for when it comes to outdoor tornado sirens. And again, I will say it once, I'll say it again. Do not rely, when you go to bed tonight, don't think that if a siren, an outdoor siren, is going to wake you up and warn you. That's not what they were put there to do. That is not their purpose. They're an outdoor warning system. You don't sleep outside. You're not working outside in the middle of the night. So have a way of getting warnings. Now, if you hear the sirens go off, you take that seriously. If you do hear a siren going off at any time and you need to go to a TV and you need to turn on Channel 7 to find out what in the world is going on. So there's my 2 cents worth. Thank you so much for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events.